Here on this desk in front of me, we have two different Chromebooks with two different model names. The HP Chromebook Elite C1030 and then the HP Chromebook x360 13C. But they look an awful lot alike, don't they? And that's cause for some confusion. Over at Best Buy, the x360 13C has launched just kind of out of nowhere, and there's some misinformation in that listing. It's not the Chromebook you might think that you are getting, and we want to clear up all of that for you in this video. But before we get into that, a big shout out to MediaTek for helping to make our run to 200K possible. If you didn't know, we are rapidly approaching 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and as a celebration of that milestone, we have partnered with MediaTek to give away a bunch of really cool prizes, all powered by MediaTek. If you'd like to learn more about it and get entered to win some of those prizes, just head down to the link in the description and good luck. So as you can see from the outside, and honestly from the inside as well, these Chromebooks are identical in every way. And we were wondering maybe if HP released a consumer version of the Elite C1030 Chromebook and just didn't tell anybody and maybe changed up a handful of things. But they absolutely did not. Other than the label on the bottom, that tells you the model number, nothing has changed about this Chromebook from the one that we originally reviewed months ago. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because basically you're getting the Elite C1030 at a much lower price. So everything about this device is the same as the one that we reviewed prior. So the great build quality, the great trackpad, the great keyboard, the 3x2 13.5 inch screen, all of it, it's all here, all the same, nice bright 400 nit panel, all of it. And internally it's impressive as well. Core i5, a 10th gen Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of NVMe storage. So I mean, you're not losing out on anything by not buying this from HP and getting it from Best Buy instead. It's just that if you go and spec the version that we're talking about that Best Buy has over on HP's website, it's actually a couple $100 more expensive to get the C1030 versus this new 13C, the x360 13C. So that's all good news. There's nothing really wrong there. Where it starts to turn sour and get a little bit confusing is in some of the finer details of what it is you are buying. So we got to start with the title of this thing. Even on Best Buy's website, like the model number, if you dig down, is a x360 13C, but that's not what's listed up top. It just says 13.5 inch x360 convertible Chromebook. Like, it's super confusing as to what exactly this even is. It looks like some random Amazon title. From what we can tell, this is the only place you can buy this is over at Best Buy at this point anyway, and it could stay that way. HP does quite a few exclusives just with Best Buy, but the title is really misleading. If I tell you to go look for the x360 13C, you're gonna have a hard time actually finding that particular model just by title alone. The second misstep Best Buy has in their listing is that they list their version of this Chromebook as having LTE. It's both in the spec sheet, so if you go down and look at the specs, it says it has LTE, and in quite a few of the images for this device, it has the LTE SIM tray slot right there. So it's saying, hey, you have LTE for $950. You're getting all this Chromebook with great specs and great externals, and you're getting LTE. Matter of fact, that's exactly why we went and bought it, because we were like, are you serious? You're selling this for sub $1,000 and it has LTE inside of it? We have to see this. We have to make sure that that's the case. It is not the case. And unfortunately, people going to buy this are seeing it on the spec sheet, seeing the images, and thinking they're buying a Chromebook that has LTE built in, and it just does not. Finally, in the listing at Best Buy, it shows that this device, this x360 13C, has an anti-glare screen, much like the C1030 Elite that we reviewed a few months ago. And that's just not the case. We got it expecting to crack it open and see that same anti-glare screen, and it's not. It's a standard IPS glossy screen. And that's not to say it's a bad screen. It's a great screen, actually. It's still 3x2. It's still 1080p plus. It's still super bright at 400 plus nits. There's really nothing to complain about. It's not a bad screen. It's just not the screen that Best Buy is saying that you're supposed to be getting. Probably most troubling about all of this mix-up is the fact that if you look at the model number on this Chromebook from Best Buy, both on the Chromebook, on the box, and in the listing online, it matches up perfectly with HP's listing for this particular model in their reference charts. And it says that that model, HP says that that model should have LTE and an anti-glare screen. And none of those things are true. So you can't really knock Best Buy necessarily for missing this in their listing because they're pulling the information from HP. And honestly, we don't know how all of this stuff got mixed up. And at the end of the day, it's not like it's a bad Chromebook. I've been using it for a few days just to, I don't know, kind of see if there were any weird differences between the two Chromebooks. And there's not. It's the exact same Chromebook as the Elite C1030. It's got a great screen. It's got the same awesome keyboard and trackpad that I loved from the original. There's really nothing different about the devices. It's just not quite what is listed. You're not getting what you think you're getting if you're reading the spec sheet over at Best Buy's website. So does all this mean it's a bad Chromebook? Not at all. It's actually pretty awesome. And especially for the price, if you spec this thing out to match over at HP's website, like I said, it's way more expensive than what Best Buy is selling it for. So it actually is a great buy. Whereas in our review, we were saying that, one of the biggest knocks against this device was just the price is really high. Now it's sneaking down into a position where I think the price matches the Chromebook. I mean, this thing is still premium through and through. It is a fantastically built Chromebook, and it's one of my favorites to use right now. So I think $900 to $1,000 is the right price for something like this. $1,200 or $1,300 for most consumers, it was not the right price. So even though the listing's all messed up, there's all kinds of misinformation in it, it's still a good Chromebook to go get, and I think one that's way more approachable for most of the people that come here and watch our videos. But guys, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there and hit that subscribe button, and make sure and ring that notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.